Isn't it awful that the Daisy family doesn't like me?
I know. Hi, Toni.
Hello.
It's so nice to meet you in person after our big long chat. I feel like I know you already.
Yes, and all my issues.
Yeah, exactly.
Which there are many.
So today we're just going to have a little bit of a regroup, just to kind of summarise where we got to and just kind of give you a few pointers on where you could kind of, make your wellness even better.
Great.
We already talked about your autoimmune condition, which I think is pretty well known. And you were telling me that it was basically affecting the inflammation of your blood vessels, and had caused, major issues with restriction of flow to your organs. But you're saying this is under control now? You're in remission?
Yeah, so I'm in remission now. And that essentially means I'm not getting any symptoms. I'm still on a low dose of steroids. So I have been on the steroids now for over 10 years. So working to try and get off them completely. So just wanting to support to make sure I can stay in remission for as long as possible with whatever I can.
Absolutely. So looking at your goals then, the three things that you suggested was, the first one was gut health.
Yeah, I just feel concerned about my gut health because of all the medications and treatments I've had over the last 10 years, infusions and prednisone. I just feel like I've probably decimated it a wee bit. So trying to make sure that is fully working is quite a priority for me.
Yeah, a lot of your immunity runs through the gut. So having a good, strong gut, which means like all your cells are sort of like this, it's a really tight junctions. And so sometimes like you've had heaps of operations and stuff as well. So antibiotics, stress, medications, certain food intolerances can cause those junctions not to be quite as tight. And then you get a bit of inflammation. The immune system sort of starts getting a few things coming through that shouldn't be there. And then it starts to go a little bit haywire and just basically, sort of reacting to things that it shouldn't, which creates more histamine and more inflammation systemically. And so that's why if you do have any autoimmune things going on, looking after your gut can be really helpful.
I feel like you've just described me very well there.
I'm good. Well, not good. And then the other thing as well, which you're probably going to hate me for, but when we talked about your gut health, you were saying that you are regular. But when you mentioned the coffee, I'm better these days, but I probably have reacted in the past, and I have suspected, I think you can kind of tell, I suspect I might have a dairy intolerance there. I guess the difference between an allergy and intolerance, you normally get tested for allergies.
Yes.
But an intolerance is where you don't have the enzymes to break down the food. But sinuses, you talked about having issues with your eczema and asthma.
That's
in the past
with part of my autoimmune condition, and I know dairy doesn't help.
No, I've just in my experience over the years, seeing that pattern, often I find that is a trigger for those as well. So you might
go easy on the dairy.
Yes,
you're talking to a dairy farmer's daughter here.
No,
Dad will be so disappointed.
No. All right, so that was your gut. And then your next goal was balancing your busy lifestyle. So you said you're currently taking Calm and Focus?
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe tell me a bit about what's going on mood and stress-wise.
So I'm pretty even-keeled, but when you have 3 kids and you get up super early, and sometimes I'll have MC jobs at night, and I coach a lot of sport, and just making sure that I don't lose my cool, it's quite good to, and I know that sort of can happen with perimenopause as well, but anything that I can do to stay even and in control of the day when it feels out of control, that would be great.
Yeah. In terms of when you're perimenopausal a little bit, it sort of goes more in menopause, but basically as your ovaries start to wind down with their jobs, your adrenal glands take over making your hormones for the rest of your life. But you're still having cycles and stuff like that, so you're not quite there yet, but supporting those adrenals is real important in that sort of transitional stage. So your Calm and Focus is perfect for that, because the ashwagandha in that, it basically works with the nervous system, and it kind of takes you out of that fight or flight back into the sort of rest and digest side of things.
So am I taking that every day?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or just when I feel like I need it.
Well, and I tell you the best time to take that one, because it's got this other ingredient in it called Zembrin, and basically it helps with mental focus and clarity. So it's really good if you want to stay sharp. So taking that in the morning, when you need to be sort of super on, is actually quite helpful.
I actually find that I get my biggest periods of brain fog come in the afternoon.
Oh, okay.
And I think it's because I use a lot of brain power in the morning. Well, you could argue not on our radio show. A lot of brain power in the morning.
Yeah.
And then I feel like I wind down. So maybe I could take it late morning.
Yeah.
So that by the afternoon.
Second wind. Yeah, no, good plan.
Okay.
Gosh, yes, you must start to sort of, it must feel like evening by the time you get
It does. And I think that's what my body does. It's like, oh, we're done now. It's like, nope, we've got kids pick up, we've got coaching, we've got activities, because the world doesn't stop just because you get up early.
Yeah, absolutely. You also mentioned B12 drops.
So I had a period where I was low in B12, which is a little unusual because I have had periods of being high in ferritin as well. But I was getting B12 injections for a while there. So I don't want to have to go back to that. So I thought if I can just keep my B12 at a stable level, then I won't have to go back to getting the injections ideally.
And then you're taking multivitamin and mineral boost, which is great. So that's really awesome, because sometimes if you take like a whole load of B12, you can kind of put the rest of your Bs out. So good to actually have the Bs in the multi as well and just get a little bit of everything there. And then you were talking about vitamin C. So again, vitamin C can be really helpful for like things like skin, and especially if you're stressed as well, because your adrenal glands actually use vitamin C to make your cortisol and things like that. So it's actually really important. It's a little bit stored in your adrenals.
I am a little ad hoc when it comes to my multivitamin. So how regularly should I be taking it? Every day?
I mean, it really depends on your diet for people as well. Like if you're eating a diet sort of rich in fruit and veg and things like that, then potentially you might not need the extra. But
I think my diet goes like this. So I think I'll say yes to the vitamin C.
Yeah.
And I feel like with vitamin C, most people, they go heavy doses in the middle of winter. But I don't know if people are like me, but I will forget a little bit in other times of the year. I go really heavy in winter, but actually it's not just to ward off those ills and chills, right?
No, I mean, you can use it all year round if you're, as you say, you're a busy and stressful person. But I would just say have a little bit all the time, because and we'll go back to your stomach stuff, but if you do have a bit of a sensitive stomach, vitamin C can be a little bit cleansing, shall we say.
I don't have my vitamin C tablet when I have a coffee, just put it that way.
Yeah. But there are different forms that are, better tolerated, and just having a small amount every day, not going for these crazy doses of it will probably just be suitable.
Okay.
So, and also you were saying about with your ferritin as well.
I've had high ferritin in the past, which is interesting because I've had a period of having low B12. And I eat a decent amount of red meat. So it's obviously just something genetic with me.
Can be, yeah. But yeah, with the iron, if you do start getting high levels, all the things that they tell people not to do when you have low iron, you do those things. So things like having a cup of tea after dinner, and it stops the iron absorption and things like that.
Okay.
You've got to be really cautious, especially with things like minerals and stuff. You find a lot of people are now sort of doubling up on stuff and taking too many things. So it's probably worth sort of looking at some of these key pointers you have, and then now I can just sort of sit and have a look and say, okay, just try this, and this.
So there's no crossover.
Yeah.
And
Perfect. Then you don't have to take too many things, because it's like, it's a handful of stuff. It's never sustainable. So the other thing that we haven't touched on, which I think is probably just the last important thing to think about, relaxing the muscles, magnesium.
Magnesium has been one of those things my whole life, because I've always been sporty, that I've always gone, I should probably have some magnesium. I've never actually done it.
Yes.
So to actually be told that it's going to be beneficial is kind of the kick I need.
Yeah, because the other thing as well with magnesium is it helps you sleep as well. So as well as physically relaxing the body, so it helps with cramps and tightness and stuff like that. But also waking in the night sometimes can be low magnesium, especially if you're using so much. Or kids as well. You find kids that are waking in the night, often you'll find it goes hand in hand with when having a growth spurt. So, so we'll have a look at all those different bits and see if we can kind of whittle it down to some real 2 things that you need, and go from there.
Thank you so much.
You're
Love
welcome.
that we've got a plan.
Yes. No, it's
We're so healthy this summer.
awesome. Thank you.
Thanks so much.